everybody, this is teacher Fritzie of JOLO English. Today I'm going to talk about the speaking test in IELTS. In my experience, many students are actually afraid of the speaking test. They're afraid that the topics might be very difficult, they might run out of ideas, they might make grammatical mistakes, or the examiner might be too strict. And the first thing that I tell my students is that they should change their mindset about the speaking test. They should remember that in the IELTS speaking session, they are tested on their ability to communicate. There are 4 criteria in the IELTS speaking test. First, fluency and coherence. Second, pronunciation. Third, lexical resource. Fourth, grammatical range and accuracy. Fluency refers to your ability to keep on talking for a long time, and coherence is the way you organize your answers in a logical manner. Pronunciation includes rhythm, stress, and intonation. Lexical resource involves the vocabulary you use related to the topic given, as well as phrases and idiomatic expressions. Grammatical range and accuracy involves the sentence structures you use, including tenses. So make sure that if the topic talks about a time in the past, you use the proper tense. The speaking test structure is actually pretty simple. Part 1 is the introduction. Part 2 is the individual long turn, wherein the examiner gives you a topic card and you have 1 minute to think about what to say. And Part 3 is the two-way discussion. Actually, the topics asked in the IELTS test require no specialist knowledge from the candidate, but it pays to be well informed. As the test progresses, usually the questions become more difficult. The challenge perhaps starts with speaking part 2. As we said, there is 1 minute thinking time for the candidate. I'd like you to use the thinking time wisely and not to write too many sentences as it might confuse you when you talk. Now let's check out an actual speaking test question in September 2016. Here are some tips before you start speaking. Now, since this is part 2 of the speaking test, your introduction must catch the attention of the examiner. You need to rephrase the topic, mean to say you have to use your own words, don't use all the words the examiner has given you, or else that would not be a good point on your lexical resource. Moreover, you can make your introduction better. So instead of saying, I want to describe my best friend, you can also say, well, I have many friends, but the one person I'm really close to is... Now, let's have a sample of the answer in part 2. Describe one of your best, close or good friend. Who this person is, how long you have known him or her, how you first met, what you do together, and explain why you think this person is a good friend. You have 1 minute to think of your answers.
Today, I would like to talk about my best friend. His name is Phượng. His Vietnamese name. I met him when I was in 10th grade. We was studying in the same high school in Thanh Hóa province. So I want to talk about him because I think he and me are in the same wavelength and we understand all of the things about each other. And we do a lot of, I've been knowing him for 10 years, almost 10 years, and a lot of activities we do together. Sometimes nowadays I'm very busy and have a day work, but in the weekend I often met him and hang out and have fun. Sometimes do maybe some crazy thing like playing games and spend time have a brief chat or chat together in a cafe or maybe some small restaurants, and we talk about a lot of things about the study, about the life, and even about something about the girls. And of course, I love him so much because every time when I feel exhausted or I feel bored about my life, he always encourage me a lot. Always say with me, every cloud have a silver lining. So you don't worry about the future. Just focus on what you are doing and believe in that. I think I think every time I have a difficult problems, I always want to ask him an advice, and I think in the future we will we still be a friend. Even I have a wife or have my own family, and I think in my wedding day I want him to be my best man in my wedding day. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Tuan.
Yeah.
Even if the topic is very simple, candidates should remember to vary their vocabulary and expand their answers. Anyone who's preparing for the IELTS test, I think, should have a notebook just for vocabulary. Now, in this notebook, you divide the pages for various topics covered in the test. For example, if the topic is about friend or friendship, you can divide or put columns for nouns, verbs, adjectives, and idiomatic expressions which can be used for this topic. What can we put under the nouns column? So you can have their advisor, classmate, childhood friend. For verbs, you can include words like advise, laugh together, go around, and share with each other. For adjectives, we can use the words helpful, loyal, and loving. Lastly, we should remember that idiomatic expressions actually can raise our score in the IELTS speaking test. So, in this topic about friends, we can use the idiom to be on the same wavelength, which simply means to think alike or to think the same way. Remember that in any part of the speaking test, try your best to be spontaneous and natural. Also, don't forget that when you learn a new word, you should be able to know how to use it. Now our question for the day, and I'd like everyone to join in this one. How many minutes is given to each part of the speaking test in IELTS? So please write your answer in the comments section, and don't forget to tell us what you want to learn next. This has been Teacher Fritzie of JOLO English. Take care!